Heading home from basketball practice, Jonathan Chapman, who's a 16-year-old high school student, was reportedly speeding when he had a car accident. He and his 3 friends, all aged 14 through 16, were killed. 5 days after graduating from high school, Bailey Goodman, age 17, of Fairport, New York, and 4 classmates were heading to a big celebration. Few moments after she had been texting on her phone, she went head-on with a truck, killing all 5 people in the car. In both of these stories, both reported by Reader's Digest, the common denominator was the drivers were under the age of 18 years old. Through the research I've done and interviews I've done with teen drivers, I want to persuade you not to allow your teen to drive until they are 18 years of age. It's true, 16-year-olds in Tennessee may have the legal right and the physical ability to operate a vehicle. However, they have not reached the age of maturity to handle that kind of responsibility. Today, I would like to give you some information on statistics and research that tragically shows a high accident and fatality rate of our young drivers. Second of all, I'd like to show you some research that shows that the 16-year-old does not have the brain function to handle that kind of responsibility. And finally, I want to urge you as parents to make the right decision and not let your teens drive until they're 18. Let's look at the statistics. From 1995 to 2004, there were 30,917 fatalities and accidents that involved drivers ages 15 through 17. That is according to a study by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety. About a third of those deaths were the drivers themselves. The other deaths were innocent pedestrians, passengers in the car, or the cars that were struck by these teen drivers. Also, the leading cause of death among our teens, what would it be? It is motor vehicle accidents. In 2007, 11 teens died every single day in a motor accident, according to the CDC. Representative John DeMacco from Illinois makes this statement in the New York Times. All 50 states prohibit 16-year-olds from drinking alcohol, buying cigarettes, voting, purchasing handguns. Yet somehow most states are willing to put them in charge of a car which could potentially be a dangerous weapon. Research backs up this thesis that we shouldn't let them drive. It tells us that the brain is not fully functioning until the age of 25. Not fully functioning in these 2 centers here, which is the frontal lobes. Why are these lobes important? Because we have read in the ABC News reports by Elizabeth Sow, who is a UCLA neurologist, that these areas are called the executive center of the brain. They have planning, they organize thoughts, and most importantly, they help us understand that our actions have consequences. That's why it's important. We allow people to drive when they're 16, but this area is not developed until much later. My son, Jake Snyder, who is now 21, when he was 16 years old, he got his driver's license, and within 2 months, he had had 2 speeding tickets and 1 car accident. He now states he had absolutely no business having that kind of responsibility. I would often say, Jake, what were you thinking? And our evidence is showing us by the development of the brain, maybe there was not a connect with my speeding will lead to a ticket or an accident. I, as the parent, I was the one that gave him the keys. Young teen drivers today, they also face so many distractions. If you think about iPods, texting, cell phones, peer pressures, children in the car with them. I gave 3 16-year-olds anonymous surveys, and that data confirmed they are multitasking while they're driving. They're texting, they're talking on their cell phones. So now we have people in charge of a vehicle that not only have a fully developed brain that's not fully developed, but also a distracted brain. So parents, until the legal age is raised, I want you to take the initiative and not allow your 16-year-old to drive. God, after all, has given that responsibility to us. He has not told us to go along with what is legal or popular, but we are the ones to make decisions for our young people. During the age of 16 to 18, use those 2 years wisely. Train your teen, get them driver's education, help them log many hours in the car with their learner's permit with you as the supervisor, teaching and training. Also, during these 2 years, if they're not going to be independently driving, then you do have to be willing to drive them wherever they want to go as well. And then parents finally join me as we get busy talking to our legislators through phone calls and emails saying, get this law changed, keep our teens safe. What am I calling you to do? Today I'm calling you, do not let your children drive just because they have a birthday and turn 16. Wait till they're 18. Also, during those 2 years, get them educated, get them trained. It is your responsibility to make them incredible drivers. Now today, I've told you that 16-year-old drivers are far more at risk for accidents and even fatalities. I've told you that science backs it up, that the part of the brain is not fully developed until age 25 that helps make decisions. And finally, I've told you as the parents, it's your responsibility. Now, we want to make the right decision. I urge you to think about the statistics and the scientific research and instruct your teen they will not drive alone until they are 18 years of age. This may not be a popular decision in your home, but parents, after all, our brain is fully developed, and we know that our actions will definitely have consequences. Thank you for listening. Go, get busy, talk to your teens.